Tommy Rees is set to become the next offensive coordinator for the Alabama Crimson Tide. This was a development that was a little bit out of left field because the narrative around this position was, hey, Saban is looking to go back to the NFL. He likes the NFL pedigree. There's a couple of names out there that made sense. But in the end, Tommy Rees is the guy for Saban. And while he doesn't have the NFL pedigree quite as much as maybe what was available, he still checks the boxes that we were hearing they wanted to have checked. The first of which being quarterback guy, right? I mean, played quarterback at Notre Dame, coached quarterbacks Notre Dame. He's going to be a quarterback whisperer. I say it all of the time. Whoever took this position as the OC in Tuscaloosa would be the equivalent of riding shotgun in a Ferrari with a first-time driver. Whether it's Ty Simpson, whether it's Jalen Milroe, whether it's Dylan Lonergan, whether it's Eli Holstein, all of those individuals will be a first-year starter for Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide. And it's not like taking over an offense that doesn't have a ton of weapons. Alabama just routinely recruits five-stars. So there's tons of ability within this offense. As the quarterback, you need to be able to manage that. So Tommy Rees, having played the position, having coached the position, having been an OC before, he's going to be synced up with whoever that quarterback is, whoever ends up winning that job. It's a very good sign. It's a very big box to have checked. The other piece of this that was important to Nick Saban in Alabama was having somebody who would be able to reset the tone. And when I say reset the tone, I don't mean from a mentality standpoint. I mean from setting the tone in the trenches. Like, yes, modern college football is you got to play in space, got to have weapons that can win deep. But at the exact same time, Bama wants to get back to being bully ball kind of Bama. You know what I'm saying? They want to be able to line it up, run the football, and when they run the football, you feel them. They set the tone. They are the aggressors. I'm not saying that wasn't the case at times last year. It wasn't the case at times under Bill O'Brien, but under Tommy Rees, that's the new approach, if you will, offensively, schematically at least. That's going to be the way they get down. And for Tommy Rees and his offense in Notre Dame, they ran the ball to the tune of right around 200 yards a football game. That was their calling card. They were the aggressors. They were the bullies on the block. So I think Alabama fans should be excited about that box being checked with Tommy Rees now being the new OC for the Crimson Tide. Here's the thing that I would be most excited about, and I said it on our live show the other day. I would be most excited as an Alabama Crimson Tide fan seeing what Tommy Rees did for this Notre Dame offense in 2022. Because think about where they were. Notre Dame early in the year, they're a punchline. They're a meme. They lose to Marshall. Starting quarterback goes down early in the season. Everybody and their mother had sold on Notre Dame. If you had Notre Dame stock, you gave it away for a pretty low price. What did they do? Tommy Rees, with a backup quarterback, leads this offense to scoring right around 32 points a game. They overachieved. They did a lot with less. Tommy Rees did more with less in 2022 at Notre Dame. So I'm saying, okay, Tommy Rees did more with less Notre Dame. What's he going to do with all the five stars at Alabama? If he can get Notre Dame to win in 9 games with a backup quarterback mostly, what can he do with five-star wide receivers, five-star running backs, and quarterbacks? I think there's a good reason for excitement in Tuscaloosa with him now being your OC. Was he the person that you maybe had marked down when Bill O'Brien took the NFL job? Maybe not. But I think he's the right guy. More on that in a second. If you have not yet subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel, we'd love to have you all a part of this. This is a football community that y'all have allowed us to cultivate. Thank you to all the Crimson Tide fans that have joined us here in the last month or so. Y'all have been unbelievable. And if you haven't yet joined us, no time like the present. Also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at JD Piquel. Would love to interact with y'all there. There's going to be a portion of the crowd here that says he doesn't want to recruit. He doesn't want to recruit. I mean, okay, I hear you. If that's your concern, far be it for me to tell you your concern isn't valid. We're going to see as he gets to Alabama. Here's the thing I would say, though. Recruiting at a place like Alabama is a very different task than it is recruiting at a different school. The best way I could describe this is it's the difference between cleaning the house with the broom and cleaning the house with the vacuum. It's just easier to recruit at Alabama because you walk in with that script A on your quarter zip to any high school in America, kids want to talk to you. Okay, people want to come play for Nick Saban. People want to go be a part of the dynasty that he's built there over the years at Alabama. There's a lot of excitement around what Alabama can do for you if you're a player. They've seen all the first-round draft picks. Like, the Alabama brand is larger than any one coach outside of Nick Saban. So I'm not saying Tommy Rees is going to just be the best the best recruiter as a coordinator in the entire world, but I am saying it's easier to recruit at Alabama than it is a place like Notre Dame. That's not to dunk on Notre Dame. I think it just says more about what Alabama is. Again, it's a lot easier to clean the house with a vacuum than it is a broom. So I'll leave it at that. For Tommy Rees, as a career move, this is a home run. I mean, this is an absolute home run to be 30 years old and to have a job calling plays for the GOAT. His work will be cut out for him, right? The standard is the standard at Bama. We win national titles. We win SEC titles. We don't lose games. Standard is high. But when you put in your time at Bama, and I hope Tommy Rees ends up staying for a long time in Tuscaloosa. I would love that for him. But if he stays at Alabama for a brief period of time, there's going to be a lot of options for him should he choose to depart at a certain point in time. Should he choose he wants to get into the NFL? Should he choose he wants to go be a Power 5 head coach? The track record of individuals that have taken over the play calling duties in Tuscaloosa and what they've gone on to do after that, it's a pretty impressive list. Kiffin. Now he's a Power 5 head coach. Steve Sarkisian, Power 5 head coach. Bill O'Brien, NFL coordinator. It's a very, very wise and very, very big-time career move now for Tommy Rees. So one more thing I would say to the crowd that is maybe not overly excited about Tommy Rees or have your reservations or have your questions about play calling, recruiting, his age, whatever it is. Far be it for me to tell you your concerns aren't valid. But I would say this. If he's good enough for Nick Saban to hire, he's good enough. Period. Not he's good enough for Bama, not he's good enough for you, he's good enough. Nick Saban has hired many coordinators. He's hired staffs. He knows what he's doing. So if you don't trust Tommy Rees, my question would be, do you trust Nick Saban? And then I'd ask you to revisit the question of, do you trust Tommy Rees? If you trust Nick Saban, you trust Tommy Rees. That's my thoughts on it. This has been The Hard Count. Nick Brake lifting heavy. Again, Tommy Rees is the new play caller for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Nick Saban got his guy. Come back and hang out with us. We are live on Tuesday and on Thursday, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. Got content for you every single day, but would love to see y'all over there in the live chat. Great time to interact. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.